back to Afternoon Express. Now, transformation is a buzzword on everybody's lips in the business world these days. Creating opportunities for women and historically disadvantaged people in South Africa is key to bringing about economic equality in the country.
Now, Fazila Ali from K-9 Petfood is joining us in the loft today to give us some insight into the challenges and opportunities out there. Welcome to the loft, Fazila.
Welcome to Afternoon Express.
Lovely to have you with us.
Now, I was so fascinated to watch your story, and it made me think about Brian Joffe as well, who's seriously one of the most, I think, incredible entrepreneurs in South Africa as well. And funny enough, he also started his business with dog food, and I'm curious to find out why dog food.
I think it was one of those things I just got kind of like steered into it. I do believe that sometimes things happen and you don't always have answers for it, but as you go along to the journey, it just kind of like falls into place. You see opportunity, and I started in pet food. Actually, I'm embarrassed to say this, but I just started teaching, and then I realized in my third year, I'm not a teacher. I don't have that patience to teach people.
Yeah. And
my father told me, "You're not going to work in the shop. You're going to go find yourself a job." And I ended up at a pet food company.
Yeah.
As a junior clerk, and 17 years later, I found myself as the MD, and I'm thinking to myself, what do I do now? And it was automatically the automatic step to go on and start my own business.
Amazing.
That's incredible. I mean, and sometimes young entrepreneurs, I find, are caught in that dichotomy of, do I find something I'm passionate about and then turn it into a business, or do I just need a great idea, and if I make enough money, I'll grow passionate about it?
Well, it depends on each person has got their own ideas and goals and what's important. And for me, it was about the challenge. Yes, money is important. I'm never going to say it's not important.
Yeah.
But it's always, the challenge always comes first before the money. Money will come, my belief is money will come automatically if you're successful in what you're doing.
I heard that the minute you got really successful, people thought you were a man, because you have to be a man to be so successful.
Yes, throughout my career, first it was the issue about being a white person compared to being a black person, and then they got the shock of their lives to actually not the guy next to me, which is the production guy. He's not the MD, she is actually the MD. So we got that out of the way. And then there was the issue about being female. Even when I was trying out funding on this new facility that we've built, I actually had and it's a senior guy in the funding, one of the funding institutions asked me, "Come on, Fazila, be honest. This is your husband's idea, isn't it?"
What?
You joking? Seriously, that's exactly. I couldn't believe it. I thought he was joking, and I said, "What do you mean? This is me. I'm here with the application."
I think it's so insulting. The one day I had bought a car a couple of years ago, and somebody tweeted, "Jeannie must be married to a wealthy man."
Wow. Now, despite all that she faced, Fazila and her business partners have overcome everything to open up their own pet food business that is growing from strength to strength. Afternoon Express attended the opening of this.
Last year we launched the Black Industrialist Program. It was the product of a lot of discussion, and we said that we needed to find a cohort of black-owned companies that are playing in this space and take them to the next level. It's part of the efforts to promote greater inclusivity. So we're very happy to see that Woolworths has seen it fit to develop a supply development program, which is actually what we want to see across the board. And they've done it not just out of charity, but because it makes good business sense to localize this particular product. We are very supportive of the idea that bigger businesses involved in supply chain decisions should focus on localization and should also contribute to empowerment of businesses owned by historically disadvantaged people in this country.
For Woolies, where innovation is right at the heart of what we do, we have the opportunity in this facility to innovate in this space and really bring globally market-leading products to the South African consumer. There's the opportunity to create jobs in South Africa and contribute towards the growth of the South African economy. And what we're really passionate about is supporting black, women-owned businesses in line with our country's BEE codes of good practice.
K-9 as an enterprise and supplier development beneficiary for us is really a prototype of what we would like to see in our supplier base. It talks to really looking at black industrialists and building manufacturing plants with high tech and high innovation. But very important in the heart of K-9 is a human story that are interacting to make a change, entrepreneurs who have a conviction, to make it happen and contributing to the economy.
The partnership with Woolworths has been really beneficial. K-9 started out as obviously very small and we only distribute to the Western Cape. So at least the platform that we've got with Woolworths takes us to the rest of the country for now, and we can distribute K-9 as well into the rest of the country.
I think judging from my experience with my kids and their pet Mimo, I got a full appreciation of what this means, what K-9 means. That my kids really always are concerned about what Mimo eats and where Mimo sleeps. So it gets to a point where this pet is a human. And at the heart of K-9 and Woolies' strategy is this whole point of humanization of pet food.
Humanization is a big trend at the moment. The gap between pet food and human food is really narrowing because you would not eat something that is substandard. So you would definitely not feed your dog or your cat for that matter something that is not up to standard. It's a nutritional balanced meal that you're looking for, and basically at the end of the day you're looking for something that's natural, organic, that does not contain MSG, that's free of GMOs, etc. for your pet health.
When I think of pets, I think of partnership. They're the little fairy creatures in your home that has become the babies and the kids in the house that drives you crazy at times, but they also bring companionship. It's the partnership that gets formed. It creates well-being, it creates love, and that's what I think what pets are about. It's just lovely having them part of the family.
What a fantastic success story. Congratulations. I think it's amazing. From now on, I'm only going to buy K-9 pet foods. I mean, I've got to get myself a dog first, but from then.
Fazila, what is the barrier of entry for women to excel in the space of entrepreneurship?
I have found that there's a lot of opportunities, and I think our legislation makes it very easy for us to actually get funding, get opportunities. I think our biggest problem is the people behind it, people that needs to open up. And like I mentioned earlier on, somebody cannot believe that it could actually be my ideas that I want to go and get funding for. It needs to be a man's idea behind it. That, I think, was the biggest barrier that we found. And I think even despite with us being female, and yet there was the legislation to say there's all of these funds available, the people that actually needed to believe in us, they still could not believe that it was a female doing it or females doing it. They were all looking, is there a man behind it? Where's your other partner?
Where's your boss? Yeah.
Yes, which other partner? But they keep on asking, now, where's the silent partner? I said, what silent partner there is?
That's so offensive.
And it's not just from one or two people, from everybody. And it was across the racial color,
it was, well, and
from women as well. It wasn't just on, and that's what I'm saying. I think that was the biggest challenge.
We did a show recently where we learned that actually Africa was leading globally as far as female entrepreneurship is concerned, and yet it's still not enough. What message would you give to younger women who want to go into business?
I think you need to be focused. It can be so easy to get distracted on small things. You need to be focused on what is your goal, where you want to go to. I visioned this company and I've seen what I want to achieve as a business. And people need to get focused, hardworking, and be honest. I think that it's going to come back to you if you buy. Don't go for quick fixes. Try and go for more long-term sustainability. Sometimes you need to step back to get where you want to be. And I cannot emphasize more than enough. If you're going to think you're going to budget for a year to fund yourself, look at 2 years, if not 3.
Sure.
Because things doesn't necessarily plan or fall into place the way you planned it.
And funny enough, a lot of people give up before that time that it hits success, because a business doesn't see a major profit in the first year.
No. 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years. Or 3. Thank you so much for coming through.
Congratulations again.
Thanks for the invite.